It can be easy to get sucked into a hyper-individualistic mindset. Hyper-individualism, big word. It just means a tendency for people to act in a way that prioritizes their own needs and desires over the needs of society. And so that mindset convinces us that we're alone, that we can only rely on ourselves, makes us very paranoid. And this issue can become so severe that we feel like the world is against us, or that community doesn't exist, that it's every man for himself. I'm here to share with you as a reminder, if you need it, that these things are lies. All of them. It's not true. It's a lie. You are not alone. The world is not against you. Your community, they love you. And the people in your life are a testament to that. Everyone in your life is there for a reason. Everyone serves a purpose, and not in an expendable kind of way that makes people seem like they're commodities, but in a loving way. How beautiful is it that you have people that you call family, friends, and those people are there to make you better, to lend a listening ear, to chat, whatever it is. It's really nice. These reminders help me a lot whenever I feel alone. Most of the times that happens whenever I'm like so in my head and I overthink, or whatever the case may be, and I convince myself of things that are literally not true. The people in your life are there for a reason. There's a specific story that I read from the book of Exodus this past week that originally made me even think about this topic to want to talk to y'all about. And it comes from Exodus chapter 18. And in this chapter of Exodus, Jethro, who is Moses' father-in-law, has returned back to visit with him after the Exodus, after everything has happened. And so bear with me. I'm going to read the entire chapter for y'all. It's about 27 verses. And so I want to take y'all on this because it ties in directly with what we're talking about. And I'll be reading in the CSB just for reference. It's titled Jethro's Visit. Moses' father-in-law Jethro, the priest of Midian, heard about everything that God had done for Moses and for God's people Israel when the Lord brought Israel out of Egypt. Now Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, had taken in Zipporah, Moses' wife, after he had sent her back, along with her 2 sons, one of whom was named Gershom, and the other Eleazar. Moses' father-in-law Jethro, along with Moses' wife and sons, came to him in the wilderness, where he was camped at the mountain of God. He sent word to Moses, I, your father-in-law Jethro, am coming to you with your wife and her 2 sons. So Moses went out to meet his father-in-law, bowed down, and then kissed him. They asked each other how they had been, and went into the tent. Moses recounted to his father-in-law all that the Lord had done to Pharaoh and the Egyptians for Israel's sake, all the hardships that confronted them on the way, and how the Lord rescued them. Jethro rejoiced over all the good things the Lord had done for Israel when he rescued them from the power of the Egyptians. Blessed be the Lord, Jethro exclaimed, who rescued you from the power of Egypt and from the power of Pharaoh. He has rescued the people from under the power of Egypt. Now I know that the Lord is greater than all gods, because he did wonders when the Egyptians acted arrogantly against Israel. Then Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, brought a burnt offering and sacrifices to God, and Aaron came with all the elders of Israel to eat a meal with Moses' father-in-law in God's presence. The next day Moses sat down to judge the people, and they stood around Moses from morning until evening. When Moses' father-in-law saw everything he was doing for them, he asked, What is this you're doing for the people? Why are you alone, sitting as judge, while all the people stand around you from morning until evening? Moses replied to his father-in-law, Because the people come to see me to inquire of God. Whenever they have a dispute, it comes to me, and I make a decision between one man and another. I teach them God's statutes and laws. What you're doing is not good, Moses' father-in-law said to him. You will certainly wear out both yourself and these people who are with you, because the task is too heavy for you. You cannot do it alone. Now listen to me. I will give you some advice, and God be with you. You be the one to represent the people before God and bring their cases to him. Instruct them about the statutes and the law, and teach them the way to live and what they must do. But you should select from all the people able men, God-fearing, trustworthy, and hating dishonest profit. Place them over the people as commanders of thousands, hundreds, fifties, and tens. They should judge the people at all times. Then they can bring you every major case, but judge every minor case themselves. In this way, you will lighten your load, and they will bear it with you. If you do this, and God so directs you, you will be able to endure, and all these people will be able to go home satisfied. Moses listened to his father-in-law and did everything he said. So Moses chose able men from all of Israel and made them leaders over the people, as commanders of thousands, hundreds, fifties, and tens. They judged the people at all times. They would bring the hard cases to Moses, but they would judge every minor case themselves. Moses let his father-in-law go, and he journeyed to his own land. I loved that story the first time I read it, and the second time I loved it even more, because it just reminds you that you don't have to do things alone, and you're not alone, and there's people that will remind you of that in your own life. And listening to those people, heeding them when they give you this advice that is for your benefit, for your good, it's just so beautiful. So I love this story. And just to tie it in with some New Testament, because I know it's always good to kind of see the tie-in. As you noticed, it was talking about not his load or his burdens being too hard for him to carry alone. And that is a concept that is talked about in Galatians chapter 6, verse 2. Also in the CSB, it reads, "Carry one another's burdens. In this way, you will fulfill the law of Christ." That emphasizes this theme of us not being alone, because we're not. And we have each other to rely on and to lean on. And that's the beauty of us having them. Remember, God created us for community and to be in fellowship with one another and to make each other better. We were not meant to be alone, and we're not alone, and neither are you. As always, God is good. I love y'all, and I will see y'all later.